Just Baseball show. Sorry for the delay. It's Thursday. Peter's recording at a coffee shop in Muncie, Pennsylvania, not Williamsport, Pennsylvania. We're going to do one thing to watch for every team in the American League moving forward through the end of the regular season. Tomorrow's episode on Friday is going to be one thing to watch for every team in the National League through the rest of the season. But AL today, how has Williamsport been, dude?
Really, really cool. The one thing that I guess my main takeaway from Williamsport so far is that these kids are so freaking good.
Yeah.
Like even, Arm, Colby and I were talking about it in the stands 10 to 15 years ago. The talent level has just increased exponentially. Right? On every Little League World Series team, the best of the best, you'd have one kid throwing gas, you'd have a couple of great hitters, but then there would be a lot of kids who look like they're 11 and 12 years old. Not this time around. Even on the world stage in the United States, every single pitcher coming in these games is throwing gas. The talent is just outrageously cool. But what I will say is, I want the Little League World Series, like the food stuff, what you can do around the park, to get a little bit more of an upgrade. I will be honest about that. The food is a little bit lame. There's not much else to do besides the big hill. I still think that it's worth it to go for all baseball fans. At the end of the day, it is baseball at its purest form. On the field is incredible to watch. I can't believe how much fun I'm having. But outside of it, I'd expect more of a eventful experience, and it's a little bit lame. I'm not going to lie.
You know it's Little League, right? You're watching 12, 11, 13-year-olds.
But it should match the talent on the field because it doesn't look like I'm watching 12-year-olds. It looks like I'm watching the next great MLB player. He just happens to be 12.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I will say I understand why it's not more of a spectacle than it is because you're commercializing Little League baseball and softball, and that just doesn't
That's a
make
good
much
point.
sense to me.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it like that. It is. We don't really need to commercialize 12-year-olds
Yeah.
so
You know
I
what?
could
You
have
know
a
what would be
better
really good in
experience.
Williamsport? You know what would be awesome for 12-year-olds is way more parking lots and maybe an Applebee's or two.
Yeah.
That would be good. Hey, who we brought to you by?
BetMGM, the sportsbook board in Vegas. Remember, folks, download BetMGM, whether that be on iOS or Android, and use promo code JUSTBASEBALL. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. But remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.
You know what else would be good is like a whole bunch of retail right around the area. Like I'm thinking like a Viore and like obviously a baseballism right there in Williamsport. I'm just thinking, if you're going to commercialize it, you have to go all the way in on that.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like these kids deserve to go all the way in,
I see.
right? Because of how good the talent is, like how big of a spectacle it could be if they really invested in this park. Now, it's not a bad
I'm
experience.
totally messing with you. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it should just stay pure.
Yeah, I guess. I want more of a spectacle.
I understand.
I want to be wowed.
I get it, and I feel like you are wowed though by Williamsport.
I know, but it's almost like going from Atlanta for the All Star game to Little League World Series. You're kind of like, ah. But again, I will not understate how good the players are.
Major League Baseball players make more money than the Little Leaguers, right?
Slightly, yes.
Slightly. Omaha, is that still the best baseball experience you've ever had?
World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah, World Baseball Classic.
World
Okay.
Baseball Classic was, I cannot wait to go back. That is, I mean, still, like three of those games that we saw are among the top five games I've ever seen.
Yeah. So WBC WBC number one, Omaha close two for me.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? The Dominican Winter League is probably
haven't been there.
number two, and then Omaha number three.
Yeah, there's such good baseball everywhere.
So that's what we got. All right. We're going to go one thing to watch for each team in the American League for the rest of the season. Again, AL today and the National League tomorrow. But let's start with the American League East. We're going to go top to bottom in terms of divisional standings as it stands right now, as we record on the afternoon of Thursday, August 21st. Start with the Toronto Blue Jays. You want me to go first?
Whatever you want.
The Toronto Blue Jays are the best team in the American League East. As it stands right now, Toronto is 20 games over 500 at 74 and 54. Shane Bieber makes his Blue Jay debut tomorrow. And for me, my one thing to watch Does Shane Bieber put this team in the World Series contender conversation?
Yeah. We did not talk about what our answers would be because we're different. We have different ideas about these teams, what specifically we are watching. There are no real right answers. You might be listening to this as a fan of this team and say, "No, I'm actually watching this." You're probably right. It's just our interpretation of the team right now and what we are watching, but Jack and I are perfectly aligned here. It's all on Shane Bieber. And it's not like the Blue Jays have a bad rotation by any stretch of the imagination, and they need Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber, what you just alluded to, can elevate their status from a decent playoff team with a shot to a true World Series contender in the American League.
Yeah.
Shane Bieber in his last rehab start, 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 punchouts, and in 29 innings over his rehab, 37 punchouts. He's given up 6 earned runs. That's a 1.86 ERA. Shane Bieber can be lethal at 89 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But if he's right back to the 92 that we know that's in there, that's when he elevates himself to one of the best pitchers in the American League. And when you look across all the contenders in the American League, who added a true ace at the deadline? But what I'm also interested in is you remove Eric Lauer from the rotation. He's going to the bullpen. Now, John Schneider, the manager of the Blue Jays, said that it's not a definitive thing, that Eric Lauer is not going to be in the bullpen for the rest of the year. They're almost going to play it by ear. At least
Yeah.
that's how I interpreted the report. That's not great just because of how good Eric Lauer has been. But we're talking playoffs, and we want to see what Bieber looks like for the rest of the season. And if he looks like the Shane Bieber that we know he can be, watch out.
And at the end of the day, you're somewhat uncomfortable with Bieber or with Lauer, pardon, starting a postseason game. You're not uncomfortable with Bieber starting a postseason game. And I like the idea of Lauer being that Swiss Army knife out of the bullpen, where if somebody struggles through 3 innings or 4 innings, Lauer can bridge the gap to the next three. And that's really exciting to me. They line up this weekend in Miami, Bieber, Barrios, Gosman, and
Mm,
that is a very good front punch.
yeah.
So,
And LoanDepot Day. Tickets are
yeah,
still available for that series.
just baseball day at LoanDepot Park. That's on Saturday. That's Jose Barrios getting the ball. So Bieber on Friday, Barrios on Saturday. Come out and join us. It's going to be awesome. Still holding on to the ballpark tours. So you have an opportunity to get the ballpark tour on Saturday, I believe, right around 1 o'clock. You also have the booth visits still available right now. And just come hang out with us in our section. That link is in our episode description. If you're in South Florida, highly recommend. It would mean a ton to us if you came out and supported us and just hung out and had a good time here. Let's go to the Yankees. All my eyes are on DH and right field. Who's DHing? Who's playing right field? How is Aaron Judge's right elbow?
Yeah. And, there was some conflicting reports because Aaron Boone, he was on WFAN, and I actually watched that full clip.
Yeah.
And basically, the quote was, I don't think we're going to see him back to throwing like he normally does at any point this year. And I quote, we're trying to get through where he can, let it go with ease, and be able to protect himself. So you hear that and you think to yourself, oh no, is Aaron Judge going to be able to play right field like we know he can? Because what makes Aaron Judge, you know, such an amazing player, of course, he's one of the best hitters that we've ever seen. But the fact is that he can play an elite right field.
Yeah.
But then Aaron Judge answered to those comments and said, I don't know why he said that. He hasn't seen me throw for the past 2 weeks. So I'm pretty confident I'll get back to 100%. A lot of noise. I don't really know. I feel like Aaron Judge is going to say that like he wants to get back on the field. He probably feels good. But, you know, we'll see. Again, I'm not good with injuries, so I'm just speculating here. But
Yeah.
what is good in the meantime is that Giancarlo Stanton,
Oh, dude.
I mean, he's hitting over 300. I don't even care if he's just a scarecrow out there in right field. You need his bat in the lineup every single day.
Yeah, and they're figuring out a way to get Giancarlo's bat in the lineup every single day. It's weird because I feel like the safe thing to say is what Judge said, and the gutsy thing to say is what Boone said. And typically, it feels like the gutsy thing is the right thing. But I'm not going to play a game of he said here as it pertains to the New York Yankees and the possible American League MVP. I'm just going to wait to see if Aaron Judge continues his throwing progression and if he plays right field. And that's where my eyes are with the New York Yankees.
And I agree with you. I don't think I've ever speculated on an injury and it was right.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I
So it's
think I'm
just like,
0
you know
for a
what?
thousand.
I'm going to wait for an official report and then we're good. We'll move forward from there.
We've got, we're nearly at 1,000 episodes doing this, and at no point was speculating on an injury and getting it right worth it. So, yeah,
Right.
don't really know about Aaron Judge, but I agree with you. That is something to watch. Another thing that I'm watching with the Yankees, I mean, Cam Schlittler last night
Oh,
was
dude.
just incredible. Took a perfect game into the seventh inning, right? This is a young pitcher that the Yankees just called up. He's made about 7 or 8 starts. If my memory doesn't serve me, I'm recording right now at a Starbucks, so I'm not able to look it up because I want to preserve my internet. But I
I
know it's
got you.
about 7 or 8 starts. And what I've seen from him, remember at the beginning where I was kind of making fun of him? I have this thing as a Yankee fan where it's just really hard for me to buy into our own pitchers. Like even when Luis Heel came up and won the Rookie of the Year, I've just seen so many failed experiments, so much hype, and I have to see it for an extended period of time. But he took a perfect game into the seventh inning, and it started to get me riled up. And this
Yeah.
is a guy with just unbelievable stuff. The problem was command and just kind of inconsistency, right? You'd see it flash, then he'd start to lose it a little bit, and it makes sense. He's still a really young pitcher, right?
Yeah.
But yesterday, he had everything working. I feel like he could have thrown a 6 inning shutout if he just relied on that high 90s heater up in the zone.
Yeah.
That thing was flying out of his hand. But I'm also seeing 92-mile-an-hour sliders painted.
Yeah.
I'm seeing curveballs that look like, they're going towards a couple balls up over the top of the zone and diving into the dirt, getting flailing swings.
Yeah.
That was incredibly impressive. But it's not just, I'm just watching Cam Schlittler. Can he be the number 3 in the Yankees rotation come playoff time? Because if you look at the Yankees rotation right now, Fried's going game 1, and he hasn't been very good. And Rodon's going game 2, and he's been okay, not great.
Yep.
Who's going game 3? Your mind goes Luis Heel, right? He won American League Rookie of the Year last year. Well, he's got a 5 ERA, and he's been wildly inconsistent. Will Warren, he's just not
I'm
consistent enough.
okay.
Like I see it, but it's not there where I trust him in game 3. Schlittler,
Yeah.
holy shit, that stuff might be good enough even if he's a little inconsistent,
You
it'll play.
you mean holy schlit. Holy schlit,
Holy
that
Schlitt.
stuff is good. He's got high octane schlit.
Yep,
And
he
I
does.
will say, like, okay, he goes 6 2/3 a one hit shutout ball. He punched out 8. He did walk 2 in Tampa on Wednesday night. But Cam Schlittler, over his last 4 starts, 21 2/3, 5 earned runs. He's K'd 23 and walked 7. Whip is under 1. Opponents are hitting 182 through 4 starts in the month of August. It was okay to begin his career, and then
Yeah,
he really settled in. 5 innings of 2 run ball, 5 innings of 2 run ball, 5 innings of 1 run ball, 6 2/3 scoreless. So 7 starts for this guy in his big league career. Through 36 and a third innings, he's got a 3.22 ERA. I'm absolutely giving Schlittler the ball game 3 of a postseason series.
which is crazy to think about. Like going into the season, Cam Schlittler was going to be your postseason
Yeah,
three
but
starter.
that's
But
why
again,
breakouts happen. That's
and
why you
that's
play
why
the
I'm
games.
and
Yeah,
that's why I'm watching because it's a lot to put on this guy, right? How many
sure.
starts has he made? 7 or 8? Did I get that right?
7. Yeah,
7, right? So he's made 7 starts and I'm penciling him in. We're jumping the gun a little bit.
it's
I'm
okay.
being a prisoner of the moment because of how good that start was last night and how good he's been over his last 4.
But
But
it's
at the same
also
time, we all see it with our eyes.
And it's also relative to what other guys are doing. If other people were throwing the ball well, we're not sitting here saying it. We're saying, oh, it's only been 7 starts. We need more. Because he's been good and everybody else has been a little nerve wracking, that's why we're Team Schlittler.
Team Schlittler. He's got the
Yep,
Schlitt.
the Schlitt. All right, let's go to Boston. Will this bullpen pull their weight?
Yeah.
That's my big thing. I feel really good about Aroldis Chapman. I do. This guy
Isn't it
continues.
incredible? Isn't
It,
he just incredible?
he's amazing. The fact that he's 37 years old and still pumping 102 when he wants to is just nuts. Slayton just started a rehab. I think that's humongous for them.
Huge.
He's in Worcester at this point. Whitlock, been good. Wilson, been good. Matt's been a decent get here. I just wonder if they can get through the rest of the year in postseason positioning without taxing all those guys so they're running on fumes in October. I just need to see them be okay because after Crochet, it feels like you have guys that may have a quick hook in the postseason. You trust Bueller as much as anybody when you get to October. Giolito, we'll see. Bayo, he's been throwing the crap out of the ball, but we'll see. Like,
Yeah.
these are going to be the biggest starts of pretty much all these guys' lives when you get to October and you need the bullpen going at that point. And I want to see end of August and September as that build up. You run through the tape in the regular season, you put yourself in a pristine wild card position, and the bullpen is all systems go.
So I totally agree with you. I actually wrote down two things. One of them was the bullpen, and another thing that I think is a little bit more important, and tell me if you disagree, is there's three players on offense that I have my eyes firmly on.
Can I
That
guess?
if the Absolutely, but if the offense can take that step to what they can be, it can hedge some of the bullpen concerns. So I have three hitters on my mind that have been struggling lately who showed at least through long stretches that they're much better than what they've done lately.
So, number one is Narvaez.
100%. He has been one of the worst hitters in baseball since July 1st. Up until July 1st, he was a rookie of the year candidate. He was one of the better offensive catchers in Major League Baseball, and he just happened to be a great defensive catcher on top of it, which again forms one of the best catchers in baseball. But since July 1st, he's got a WRC plus below 20. That can't happen. So that's definitely number one.
Are you banking on Rafaela snapping back into form?
Number two, and literally how I even ranked him, Rafaela, right? Again, can play great defense. The Red Sox positioning him, like not really letting him go play center, I think is a really weird decision and something I don't agree with, right? It's like you're taking out one of the premier center fielders just because you have too many outfielders. You don't move Rafaela from a spot, but I understand the versatility, but still, he's got to play center field. I wonder if that's messing with the bat. Because again, he's another guy since July 1st. The production has just fallen off a cliff. But in those couple of months beforehand, as long as he's a 110, 115 WRC plus, he turns into an excellent player. But when he's in the 70s, when he's in the 60s, when we're looking at WRC plus, right, we're looking at a fourth outfielder type. We're looking at
Yeah.
Kevin Kiermaier in his old age or Jackie Bradley Jr. in his older age, where all you can do is play defense. But he has the ability to be an above league average hitter, which again is huge for the Red Sox offense, which again can hedge some of the bullpen concerns. Who do you think number three is?
I think it's Nathaniel Lowe.
No, just because I just don't have a lot of faith in him.
Okay,
I
fair.
saw the big time home run in that game against the Orioles. The Red Sox still found a way to lose that game. That was just terrible. We were watching that in the Airbnb on -1 bars of service. It's all pixely, but I could still see the Red Sox blowing plenty of times to win that game. It isn't Nathaniel Lowe. It's Masataka Yoshida. You're the freaking DH. You're the DH. What does that mean? You're the designated hitter. You have to hit. Now, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me because I'm recording at a Starbucks, but pull up his WRC plus this year, Jack. What is it in the 80s? At least it looks like that when I watch him. It's
Masa,
just we need you to hit. We need Narvaez, we need Rafaela, and we need Masataka Yoshida to hit. Because if those guys are hitting and Willier comes back healthy and Jaron Duran is still doing his thing, and they have plenty of other guys in the lineup, that
okay.
lineup can be potent. When you have a 5-run lead, I'm not as concerned about the bullpen. When you have a 1-run lead, that's when the Red Sox are losing these 1-run games. They need to be able to build a lead, and that starts with the offense.
It's just a damn shame that I'm your coffee boy gopher stat buddy today. Masataka Yoshida through 25 games has a 73 WRC plus.
So it's even worse than my eyes will tell me.
Yeah. So, okay, I can get behind Yoshida there. I think Lowe, because I think Lowe can kind of be this jolt and like change a scenery candidate over the course of
Yeah,
a year. But the first two, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Narvaez and Rafaela.
I like the shout though for Nathaniel Lowe. Like if he can be another spark plug, you
Yeah.
take that and run with it because Abraham Toro is simply not the answer.
Yeah. Tampa, this is quick for me. Postseason's in the rear view at this point.
Yeah.
Is there any life here offensively? A 655 OPS after the All Star break is the worst team mark in baseball right now. Since the All Star break, they have literally been the worst offense in baseball by OPS. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm watching with Tampa right now, unfortunately. I guess can certain guys snap back into gear? Is Mangum a guy that you run with at the beginning of next year? He's really struggling after the All-Star break. Like, for me, there's not much juice. I guess you're on Caminero 40 homer watch.
It's so funny. What I wrote down is, will Junior Caminero be the first Ray to hit 40 home runs since? Do you
Uh,
remember? I'll give you a hint. Pre 2010. So it's been a long time since Tampa Bay Ray hit 40 plus home runs. And another hint, this guy hit 46 of them.
Carlos Pena.
Carlos Pena, you ball knower.
That's big.
You ball knower. Good for you. Carlos Pena back in 2007 hit 46 home runs. I was shocked that Evan Longoria never got there. Remember
Pena
Logan
is an
Morrison?
all-star.
Yeah, Pena is no, I'm talking about Evan
No, I
Longoria.
know the Moneyball thing.
Oh
Pena
yeah,
is an
Moneyball.
all-star.
He is an all-star.
There you go.
Do you remember Logan Morrison hit 38 for them,
How
like
about
early
that? And Brandon Lau
2010s?
hit what, 39?
Yep, he was close too.
Yeah,
But yeah, Junior Caminero 35 home runs in 121 games. I think I lost that bet between him and Will Wagner, but
I
it
think
isn't
so.
over yet.
Not over yet, but
Technically,
it's pretty
technically it's
close.
not over.
The fat lady is starting to get ready to sing.
Yeah, she's getting ready for her big belt at the end of a performance. Yeah, there's not much to watch with the Rays. I was hoping Shane McClanahan would return. That would be something. Um, they're not even converting Griffin Jackson to a starter like we thought they might. Obviously, not yet. So it's not like I'm watching that yet either. Like, what am I just watching to see how well Pepiot does down the stretch? That's boring.
I don't
Let's
know.
see if Junior Caminero could be the first Ray to hit 40 home runs since 2007.
Cool. And then Baltimore. How much fun are the youngins? For me, like I'm watching a lineup with Jackson Holliday, Gunnar Henderson is starting to get right now. Westberg is healthy again. And then you have this tandem of Samuel Basayo, who just came up, and Kobe Mayo. Basayo and Mayo in the same lineup as Holliday and Henderson really excites me. And that's just what I'd be watching if I were an O's fan.
For me, my eyes are squarely, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm watching every single Trevor Rogers start from here on out. I think he's appointment television right now. And
Hmm.
you might think that's a little much. Here's the thing that fastball, nobody can see. It's an invisible. Guys just, I mean, how do you get blown away by 93? How is he landing fastballs like nearly middle, and you're just taking them? There's something they're either sitting changeup, they're sitting that sweeper, they're sitting the sinker. He's got a 1.41 ERA. I was watching his last start. 7 innings, a 1 run ball. Lowers his ERA by .02. Went from 1.43 to 1.41. If you look at this past stretch of the last 2 months, 7 innings, 1 run ball is a cakewalk for him. That is just an average start nowadays. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. I even tweeted about it a couple starts ago. I was like, we have to start paying attention. And
Yeah.
damn right, I am paying attention. I'm telling you, Trevor Rogers, appointment television, every fifth day when he takes the ball for Baltimore, he is pitching like a bona fide ace. I've said this multiple times now, but I mean it. And this is a perfect episode to continue to tell you to watch Trevor freaking Rogers.
Love it. All right, we're going to get to the American League Central in a moment, but before that, I want to tell you about our fine friends at Ethos Life Insurance. You're doing a lot of traveling right now, man. Is it stressing you out a little bit?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm sorry. And you're also going to get married shortly. You got engaged, Bubba.
I gotta start getting my life insurance policies together.
You have to. You got to protect Ameris. And here's the deal. I would recommend our fine friends at Ethos Life Insurance. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy. It protects your family's future in minutes, not in months. No complicated process. It's 100% online. There's no medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions, get a quote in as little as 10 minutes, and you can get same day coverage without ever leaving your house. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry. As of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage. Ethos has a 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot with over 2,400 reviews. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/justbaseball. That's ethos, ethos.com/justbaseball. Time for the American League Central. Let's jump into them, and we'll start with the first place Detroit Tigers. For me, the offense is Interesting, because it feels like Kerry Carpenter is always stepping up right now, and then nobody else is stepping up. But then you have like these pulses of other guys that are hitting the big homer. There are some guys that have been underwhelming since the All-Star break. There are some guys that are performing kind of on par with where they are. Like I think Colt Keith has been very good. I don't think he's been unbelievable, but I don't think he's been a liability at any point since the break. I look at the other side of the baseball, man. Is the rest of the staff good enough behind Tarek Skubal? And I look at the starting rotation. The other guy that I feel good about right now is Troy Melton. And that's kind of it at the moment. Like, I don't feel awesome about Flaherty. Mize is not throwing like the all star he was right now. It's Skubal. Then it's a guy that's made 8 career starts. And then it's a hodgepodge of other stuff.
I had the same concerns. And what is it? Over a week ago now, I took the under 92.5 wins live on BetMGM. Use code JUSTBASEBALL, by the way, for a first bet offer up to
Sure.
$1,500 back in bonus bets. And if you tailed that with me, I think you're going to get those bonus bets,
Hmm.
if you know what I mean, because you'll
Hmm.
lose it. And I think I'm going to lose it. Um, the offense is really, really good. And the bullpen is better than I thought it was. And I kind of disrespected Kyle Finnegan, I'm not going to lie. Kyle Finnegan's been a lot better than I thought. And I was kind of disrespectful towards him. I think I was talking with Arm, and I said, when Kyle Finnegan enters the game, guys in the opponent dugout are not afraid. Well, I don't think he's allowed to run with Detroit yet. So, again, that could subside. Will Vest has looked really, really good. And when you bring in Kyle Finnegan, everyone else has a lesser role, which then increases their value a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The guy's not pitching the seventh anymore. He's pitching the sixth. Everyone gets a little bit of a bump down, right? So it elongates the bullpen. And if Finnegan can look this good and the offense can look that good, all they really need from these starters is to be average. And
Yeah.
a lot of them just are average. Outside of Troy Melton, which I agree with you, and then Tarek Skubal, it would be the most disrespectful thing in the world to ever call Tarek Skubal average. He's anything but. He's unbelievable.
He's
But I think
ridiculous.
we have problems with the depth,
Yeah.
right? But here's the thing: they don't have to be incredible, and that's what's happened with the Tigers recently. Is the bullpen has came in and locked it down. Kerry Carpenter's been outrageous. Riley Green's a beast. Spencer Torkelson's a beast. Gleyber Torres, Cole Keith, like you said, Dylan Dingler's one of the most underrated catchers in all of Major League Baseball. The offense is good. The bullpen has been better, which can hedge some of those starting pitching concerns. So I guess my thing to watch for the Tigers, even though I've just been wrong on them, is that bullpen. Can the bullpen continue to do it? Because the offense can be good, but if the starting pitching is average and the bullpen is losing games, you're going to have to score a lot, which is hard. And that's how they can start losing games. So that's what I'm looking at. Can this bullpen continue this hot stretch that they've had since about August 1st?
They have kind of an ace in the hole as it pertains to the underwhelming rotation and the bullpen being very good. Brant Herter is one of the more underappreciated arms in the game for what he does for AJ Hinch right now. And I feel like Herter deserves his flowers. He's throwing like Hater right now. Brant Herter,
He is.
after the All Star break, has been absolutely ridiculous. 14 and 2/3, 7 hits, 1 unearned run. He's K'd 18, and opponents are hitting a buck 46 against him over that stretch. So, yeah, I hear where you're coming from there. Kansas City, really simple for me. Wild card push. Come on. Like, you're knocking on the door. Knock down the door.
And I think the way that they get there is more consistent performances from Noah Cameron and Ryan Bergert, the guy who they got in the Freddie Fermin deal from San Diego. Again, I know Fermin's playing well for San Diego. It just felt like a big package, and the Royals capitalized on it. And the Royals have been good, I think, at identifying pitchers in these smaller deals, most notably Cole Reagans and now with Bergert. And I'm sure there are other examples that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, right? So Cameron has just been outrageously good this year, and he's not getting a lot of flowers because it's not outrageous stuff, right? The strikeout rate isn't crazy. And, some underlying metrics may say that he should regress somewhat soon, but at the end of the day, they might not kick in this year. And he's got a 2.52 ERA. Berger, in 3 starts with Kansas City, he's got an ERA in the 2.7 range. I mean, these are legit pitchers, right? You lose Cole Reagan. Seth Lugo is starting to regress a little bit. Who's going to step up in their absence? These two guys. So those are two pitchers that I'm really watching that can allow the Royals to stay in the hunt, and who knows, maybe shock some people and get in.
Wow. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like it felt like they were kind of out, and then they retained Lugo and extend him, and I'm like, interesting. I wonder if they're still kind of in, and like all of a sudden they're still kind of in.
Still kind
Let's
of in.
go to Cleveland here. At what spots do you have to buy next year? For me, I'm looking at this team that's scuffling mightily right now. They had a brutal weekend in Atlanta this past weekend, or against Atlanta at home this past weekend. And I'm just looking around saying, like, okay, who do you feel really good about going into 2026? Because this feels like we're hitting this crossroads point with the Cleveland Guardians. We've called them scrappy for so long. Stephen Vogt was the AL Manager of the Year last year. At some point, you got to graduate from scrappy and just be a downright good team. And it feels like they're still scrappy and flirting with good. How can you upgrade to make yourself good next year?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I guess I'm a little bit. I mean, I'm not a little bit. I'm pretty disappointed with the Guardians, because I know what they have it in them, and I just can't watch this offense anymore. I can't
It's
do it.
really not good. And that's my point. It's like, do you have to go pay a catcher? Do you have to trade for a catcher? You got a decent system.
Like this. They're so boring, which is such a weird thing to say about the Guardians.
Yeah, with Quan up top and then Jose
100%.
Ramirez up top too.
All I feel like is I'm waiting for the lineup to flip over. That's all I'm waiting for
Yeah,
because Manzardo's a good piece. I like him. That's someone
of
you're building
course.
around, but it's not like he's prolific. And then what? What am I waiting on? Like Bo Naylor and Brian Rocchio and even Nolan Jones, like all these guys, like, are they a part of the core? How many years of an 80 WRC plus are they going to put up before we're like, their defense isn't worth it?
Yeah.
Like Bo Naylor's defense isn't even good. Brian Rocchio, I mean, whatever. They're just been disappointing to me. So for me, I'm not really viewing them as a playoff team. I'm sorry, I'm not. So what that then points my brain to is, well, who are fun guys to watch that I'm going to turn on the TV for? Gavin Williams.
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. You absolutely cooked on that one. He has been just diabolical.
Yeah.
He's been so fun to watch. And Parker Messick in his debut.
He looked
He's
good.
funky lefty. I was having fun watching him. I don't know a ton about him. I wasn't really following him in the minor leagues, so I don't have a full scouting report. But from
Florida
what I
State
saw
kid, man,
early,
strike thrower.
exactly, strike thrower, first start on the road in Arizona against that offense, that is not an easy debut. What does he do? 6+ innings. Yeah, he gave up 7 hits, but only one of them, only one earned run. Struck out what, four, five, six batters? Again, I'd have to go back and look. Again,
It
I
was
don't have
6.
freaking internet, basically. But I think it was around there. He was punching guys out. That's a tough lineup that doesn't really strike out. I was really impressed with that. And the Guardians, right? We say they need these offensive pieces. Is the rotation set in stone? Bobby's having a tough year. You expect him to bounce back, but it's not like any of these rotation spots are completely solidified, right? Joey Cantillo hasn't grabbed that spot. We have no idea what's going to happen with Luis Ortiz. So you talk about the offense. I'm also like, this team low key needs starting pitching. And I think they got it in Gavin Williams and Parker Messick. It's hard to say that right now about Parker Messick after one start, but what I will say is I'm very intrigued with what he's got.
They got irons in the fire, man. And you go into next year and you think you have that front trio of Bybee, Williams, Allen, and then you have Messick as depth there, and then Cantillo as your 5, or somebody else is your 5, Nick Casey maybe. Messick, the line on him in his debut in Arizona: 6 2/3, 7 hits, 1 run. He punched out 6 and walked
Six.
1, and he turned the lineup over for a third time. He faced 25 hitters in that
Yep.
one, so that was real. And dude, that's like, it's not a really bad offense at all in Arizona, and he
It's a good
he made him
offense.
made him look silly. So, love it. Let's go to Minnesota. Is Emmanuel Rodriguez's oblique still attached to his body? He's on the IL again. There's not much to watch here. Wallner's been really good after the break. I'm just looking at like Emmanuel Rodriguez, who is supposed to be kind of your part one of the future outfield. Walker Jenkins is in Double A right now. He's hurt again. Emmanuel Rodriguez is. I I don't know. Honestly, like, that's a cop out answer. I think nothing right now.
You tell me that top Twins prospects also get hurt?
Yeah. Keyshawn's been good. Keyshaw came back from injury, and Keyshaw's been very good after the break. But like,
That's who I wrote down.
yeah,
He's been a good player. I mean, that's fun to watch, right? The Twins need guys that they can build around, right? Buxton's not going to be this great for that much longer. So as the Twins do a massive sell down, and unfortunately they have to stick with their owners, Who can we watch? Who can be fun? Obviously, Joe Ryan. We all want to watch Joe Ryan.
Yep.
But who's next? I think Luke Keeshaw's next, and he's
Yep.
fun. So he's someone when you turn on a Twins game to watch a couple ABs of him, really good plate discipline out of the gate. I think he's walking at like a 10% rate, striking out a 13% rate. He's a good AB. And that young, that's someone who Twins fans should get excited about.
Yep. Last team in the AL Central, the Chicago White Sox. All aboard the Colson Montgomery train, baby. 10 homers in 39 games. Colson Montgomery, that's who I'm watching.
Yeah, just building on that, like I'm just the young offense coming together. I mean, this has been a top 10 offense since the All-Star break. Full stop. It's incredible, right? You got guys like Mydroth, you got guys like Caro, you got, Colson Montgomery, like you said, you got Kyle Teal, you got Miguel Vargas, all these guys 25 years or younger, right? You're starting to see the young core come together. And I think White Sox fans, or, I don't know if you're not a White Sox fan turning on White Sox games unless you have to cover them like I do, but in case you do, go watch them, right? They keep blowing games against the Braves, but all of them were high scoring. The problem is the White Sox can't pitch right now. That's why they have 45 freaking wins, right?
Yeah.
And there's not a lot to build on there outside of a couple of young arms, kind of, right? You got Shane Smith, the All-Star, not much else. But the offense is fun. Like the White Sox are not a bad watch by any stretch because of this young offense.
Yeah. And you hope that like a Schultz and a Hagen Smith can be there at a point next year. And then all of a sudden you have 3 to 4 starts of intrigue by next year. And Drew Thorpe will come back at some point during the 2026 season. Okay, we're going to get to the American League West to wrap in a moment. Before that, quick break. AL West to tie a bow on part one of this National League again tomorrow. In the AL West, we'll start with Houston, who is atop the division at this point. Who's healthy? I gotta watch who's healthy. I gotta watch the rehabs. I gotta watch Jordan build back up. I gotta watch Christian Javier make his next couple of starts. I just gotta figure out what this team looks like it as close to full health as humanly possible when you get to October.
100%. No doubt about it. That is the answer. We're, it's funny with the Astros. They're not playing well right now, and again, it's not really their fault. Everybody is hurt.
Yeah.
Like this is terrible if you're an Astros fan because the American League is wide open. It feels like one of the final years of our window. We know we could beat any team when healthy. We know we could beat teams in the National League. Like I think the Astros, when fully healthy, I don't really have a ton of confidence in a lot of American League teams to beat those juggernauts in the NL. The Astros can. They're that one team when healthy. They're not healthy. Hader just goes down, and it's got to be just infuriating if you are an Astros fan. Like, this has got to be just the worst.
Yeah.
One guy that I am IDing that I think is really, really important, not only for just the rest of the regular season, but for the postseason, is Christian Javier. Right? He comes back. He looks okay, looks a little bit rusty, which is fine, right? He's coming back from a big injury. That's okay. And then 3 innings, 1 run. What happened? Got removed for an illness, right? He wasn't feeling well, which is good. It's not any sort of injury, it's some sort of illness. So I am watching his starts. Like, I'm probably going to be turning on the TV to watch his starts because that is, are you buying into the Astros? I think he's that important. We've seen him throw modified no hitters in the playoffs. I call him modified because he had help from the bullpen, but when he was in, he wasn't allowing hits. He can be absolutely diabolical if that fastball up in the zone is playing and he's locating his breaking ball. He can be really unhittable when he's like that, but that's when he's fully healthy. So if I'm looking at an Astros rotation in the playoffs and I go Hunter Brown and Fromber, I feel really good, but I don't feel good about game 3. But I do if Christian Javier is back. So I'm watching Christian Javier every fifth day.
I love it. Javier, it was a very underwhelming first inning in his return to the big leagues, but since then it has been quite all right. Seattle, where do you go on Seattle?
Can Gino Suarez snap the fuck out of this? I mean, seriously. Gino Suarez is hitting 181 with a 36% strikeout rate with 3 home runs in 19 games for the Mariners. Mariners fans, I mean, you got to feel a sense of anger right now, and it's not just pointed at Gino Suarez. You see the Astros flailing. You could go win this division. What's going on, though? You're just getting swept on a road trip. Now, it's not like you're facing easy competition. You're facing the Phillies. But, I mean, could you play any worse? Could the pitchers look any worse? I mean, what is going on? You have it. The Astros are trying to give you the division on a silver platter, and you are not taking it. What is going on in Seattle? And a guy I am IDing, unfortunately, because he's the big bopper they brought into this offense, is Geno Suarez. And we know hot and cold, roller coasters. But can we get an upswing soon?
Yeah.
36% K rate, he looks lost. He looked like the best power hitter in baseball next to Cal Raleigh. And then you add him, and then now he's Dylan Moore. It's worse. Like it's it's infuriating to watch Geno Suarez take at bats right now because it's like, damn it, if you were just hitting bombs and you were like you were on Arizona, this
Yeah,
team would be winning more games.
I
But
know.
again, it's not all his fault. The pitching has not been there. The bullpen has not been there. It's not like everybody in the offense is clicking, but he's a guy who can carry an offense. That's how good he can be.
So subplot number one that I love is Brian Wu going to throw 6 innings for the rest of his starts this year, and is he just going
Maybe
to throw
for the rest of his life.
maybe for the rest of his life? Which is so funny that he had durability concerns at the beginning of his career. It's like, wow, this guy. It seems like he's banged up a little bit after each start, and he's day to day after every start. And then all of a sudden, he's just ripping off 6 innings at will. Gino and Randy Arozarena, I circled. I love
Yeah.
what Julio is doing right now after the All Star break. Julio Rodriguez has been one of the best players in baseball since the All Star break.
What he does.
Cal Raleigh, homers, love it. It's great. Randy Arozarena needs to enter October hot because you know this guy is going to be on absolute fire in October. And Eugenio Suarez needs to be riding that hot stretch going into October as well. So those are the two guys that I ID.
100%. I think breaking news.
Yeah,
MLB and ESPN have reached an agreement that would give the network rights to sell all out of market games digitally and in market games for 5 clubs. ESPN would broadcast around 30 games a year, and Sunday Night Baseball would move to a different night.
interesting. Okay. Um,
We'll talk about that more in another day, but breaking
Yeah,
news.
I'm trying to think about that because I saw the initial reports on Wednesday night and I'm trying to figure out what it means. I know the NHL has an agreement with ESPN to have all of the local telecasts streaming on the ESPN app. I wonder what that means for MLB TV. But yeah, I it's money exchanging hands, and it sounds like you know Major League Baseball is still on ESPN, which I think is a good thing. There was a bit of a bidding war there. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, okay. Dollars and cents, TV, baby.
Great.
Let's go to Texas here. Can they hit their way to catching fire again? They're not catching fire right now. It seems like they're out of the picture, and I feel like the way they get in there is not by pitching. They've been flirting with the wild card and the final wild card for the last however many months because of pitching and no hitting. They got to hit their way into the postseason at this point.
It's been the same story this entire season. Do you know where they rank in OPS?
25th?
27th.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Rangers? Now, it is so funny, too, because, when you look at their run differential and you look at their expected win-loss record based on that run differential, they should be at the top of this division.
Yeah.
But they can't hit. They
Yeah.
can't hit in big spots. They can't hit with runners in score position. They strand runners like I wouldn't believe. And have you seen Marcus Semion's OPS this year? It is the quietest 670 OPS in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, well, 670 is pretty damn quiet already.
No, I know, but nobody's talking about how bad he's been this year.
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
I mean, nobody is, right? So, yeah, and it's, how many more times do we have to say the Rangers offense has to heat up for them to make a playoff push?
Yeah.
It's August 21st, the day we're recording.
Yeah.
They rank 27th in freaking OPS and it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But with that said, like they can get hot still. I'm going to keep saying it because it is in there. All the players are still in the lineup, still like the lineup. But when I'm watching a Rangers game and I'm waiting for Josh H. Smith, maybe we're cutting the H now, to get the big hit, like that, for Kyle Higashioka to get the big hit. I mean, what are we doing here? You have too many good players for this to be happening.
Dude, it's bizarre what's happening at this point. Like Adolis Garcia is the biggest mystery ever to me. Where did it all go?
No idea. I don't have an answer for you. Maybe Arm could do a swing dive because I have no idea.
Dude, Semyon and Adolis are two that I just don't really understand. But you know what? Godspeed to them. Two more
Baseball.
teams to talk about in the American League. The LA Angels. I'm on 30 watch, and I mean that in a couple of different ways. The most boring one is you say Kikuchi is trending towards 30 starts. That's cool to have. 30 starts at a 3.5 ERA. Wow, good for
Definitely.
Kikuchi. All
He's
star.
been good. He just is a good pitcher.
He is a good pitcher. Joe Adell and Taylor Ward are both tracking for 30 homers. Ward, that's cool, but Adell, 30 homer season. Welcome to the breakout, bub. And then I'm on 30-30 watch with Zach Neto. I think he's at what, 23 homers, 22 bags at this point. I'll tell you for certain right now. But Zach Neto, man, like if he's a 30-30 player, we got to start talking about that guy as maybe a top five shortstop in Major League Baseball. As it stands right now, Zach Neto, through 108 games, is at 21 homers and 22 bags. He's probably going to fall shy of the homers with just under 40 games to go and 9 homers to get. But if he catches hot and he's 30-30 again, that changes the perception of him, I think, pretty much entirely.
I think he's going to be 25-30.
Yeah,
And
which is awesome.
I think what would elevate him to top five shortstop is if he can improve the defense next year. Because I don't think, a great month of defense isn't going to do much for me when you've been average for most of the year. And it's not like he's a bad defender at all. It's just when we're talking about top five shortstops, like there's a lot of pillars you have to cross,
Yeah.
and defense is one of them at a premium position. So, but I agree with you. He's probably going to be in all of our top tens. And you got to remember, this is one of the best positions period in baseball. So absolutely. Only thing I'll add, because I had a couple of those written down, and I actually talked about
Yeah.
Zach Neto recently. I was giving him his flowers. So I'll move over to another guy who's, one of the legends of our game. Mike Trout is 2 home runs away from 400.
Wow.
Really cool milestone, right? He's at 398 home runs. So turn on an Angels game, just waiting for Trout to get to 400. And he's 34 years old. And
Yeah.
again, the only thing that would stop him from getting to 500 is health, because he can hit. I mean, he can hit 40 home runs over the next 3 years
Yeah.
and get 120, and now he's at 520, right? So he still has the talent in there. He's still a prolific power hitter. It's just about staying healthy. So we're tracking one of the greatest players that people in our generation have seen with our own two eyes, and to
Yeah.
see if he can get to 500 home runs, see if he can get to a couple more pillars. But the one in front of him right now is 400.
Also, I rescind. Neto can't be a top five shortstop. I'm just looking at this list too, and like
So good,
the war leaders right now is like Bobby Witt, Trey Turner, fucking Geraldo Perdomo, 5-win player
so
already
good.
this year. It's just insane. And then Lindor, Jeremy Pena, Gunnar, Ellie. Like he's not top five, but he is
Yeah. But
universally top
again,
10.
with that offense, though, he can compete with them on offense. It's the war total isn't there because he's not the defender they are. So it's like he
Sure.
would have to be 80, 85th percentile shortstop defender with that offense. Then we can talk.
But even then, the only guy that I just listed that he's better than offensively in terms of WRC plus is Ellie De La Cruz at 115. Neto's at
Yeah.
119.
Yeah. Maybe
Like
got ways to go. But I know what you're saying, though, because when you watch Neto, like he's such
he's
a good
awesome. I
player.
love watching Neto.
Such a good player.
Such a good player. All right, last team, the A's. I'm on 30 watch again. They got four guys that can absolutely hit 30 homers in this lineup. Nick Kurtz is trending that way. Shea Langoliers is trending that way. Brent Rooker and Tyler Soderstrom is getting hot again. They need pitching. Like that's an offseason issue. That's a couple years issue. I mean, this offense is really fun to watch, dude.
I love watching Shea Bangliers just launch cannonballs in that minor league park. Like
Yeah,
he's got some thunderous power. He is so fun. Um, but I'm actually going to go to the pitching side because I think you covered the offense. Like they are just a genuinely fun team to watch because they don't pitch all that well and they hit.
yeah,
But one guy's pitching unbelievably, and that is Jacob Lopez. And I feel like every single time I've been on the Just Baseball show lately, I've like almost led with Jacob Gonzalez propaganda because he deserves it.
Lopez.
What did I say? I keep saying
Jacob
Jacob Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Why is the White Sox prospect in my head instead of Jacob Lopez?
I don't know. That's a good
I don't know
question.
either. It's Jacob Lopez. 24 inning scoreless streak before being broken up in his last start. And you're like, oh, did it all come crashing down? Nope. 6 innings, a 2-run ball with 8Ks. This guy's the man. It's the low
Yeah.
slot lefty who he's throwing that invisible ball. You can't see it, and he's locating everything. He has been, again, another guy who I want to turn on every fifth day. And the A's need guys to build around in this rotation. He's one of them.
There we go, baby. All right, that's our program today. Again, apologies for the delay in putting it out, but you guys are having a great afternoon. You've got part two of this, the American League coming tomorrow. What you got to plug?
Nationally coming
Or
tomorrow.
nationally coming tomorrow. What you got to plug?
So, first of all, go get your tickets for Loan Depot Day. It's going to be on August 23rd, right? It's Thursday, August 21st. You got 2 days. It'll be on Saturday. Blue Jays taking on the Marlins. You know, the stadium tours, the free merch giveaways, sitting in the same section as us. It's going to be an absolute blast. We sold a lot of tickets already. Appreciate you if you've already gone, but anyone who can be in the Miami area for that day and come to the game with us, we'd love to have you. We're just going to be talking baseball with everybody. So make sure to go get your tickets for Just Baseball Day at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Saturday, August 23rd. Again, you can find the link to that in our link tree, which is in the episode description, or you can find it on our social media pages. Again, it's in that link tree. Go get your tickets, as well as go get yourself some Just Baseball merch. Why not? I'm rocking the hat. Go get yours in the episode description. And if you would be so kind, if you did enjoy this episode, rate and review 5 stars, whether that be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your shows. And if you have a couple extra seconds to leave a written review, appreciate everybody listening. We'll be back tomorrow with the National League. For Jack McClellan, I'm Peter Apple. And with that, thank you, everybody.